Hello, everyone. This is the September 29th IPython Jupyter dev meeting. Let's get going. Let's see who's up on top of the agenda from the notes. Matthias, I think you're first.
Yeah, so hi, everyone. Hi from Colorado. I'm at Wispy. Just take a break to join the meeting. So I've mostly last week rebuilt the doc of IPython 1, 2, and 3 with a huge warning on top. All docs, please see the new docs at unread the doc. I probably need to do that with all the other even older versions, which are still archived by Google and still show up at the top of the research most of the time, and point user to all documentation. I'm not sure if it's completely worth it or if the new doc will just be
going past one. I don't think going past one is worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, people, if somebody is using IPython in Jupyter and sees version 0.12 and doesn't realize that, look, there's a limit, yes, but there's a limit to what we can do. Look, there is a limit. We have to triage and we have to make decisions with our finite resources. So you've done enough.
Okay, and the other thing that should be relatively easy to do if we want to push down even more is to basically there is a way to tell the robot that the canonical link to a page is a specific one, which would highly lower the ranking of this page if we use the meta tag, not a meta tag, but a rel canonical link to the current doc. So I can also do that if you think it's worth to decrease indexing of IPython docs 1, 2, and 3, which now are on read the doc. So it would basically like completely remove the version of the doc we have on IPython.org.
And make the read the docs ones the canonical ones.
Yes. The only difference is that the read the doc ones for IPython 1, 2, and 3 have slightly less things than the one on IPython.org, especially because read the doc does not install Qt and RPy2 and Octopi. So you have the doc are slightly shorter on the doc. So
they're slightly less complete.
But it's still old docs, so I don't know.
I don't think it's important to move old docs to read the docs.
No, but it makes it easy to just select the drop down and see I want old version, and then it's easy. You point people to read the docs table, and you can just get the drop down, and they can get the old version. So we don't have this weird navigation and non-consistent things everywhere.
So basically, what would be happening is we'd be sacrificing documentation for Octopi and for those things.
Yeah, it make it also really easier to fix docs on all versions. If there is a problem, you just push to the 1x, 2x, or 3x branch, and it's
okay. Since we're trying to have a policy of not making decisions in these meetings, and rather
it was just
open a PR, just open an issue on this so that we don't turn these meetings into decision-making meetings. Otherwise, we won't make it through everyone.
Yeah, there are some of these are already links to that. It was just to give an idea of people so that we can discuss that later, and you had that on the back of your mind. And I worked with Mike on having themes for things that include CB so that you can have runnable documentation. It's in progress.
Okay.
And that's it.
Cool. Did you present already your talk at Wispy, or is it tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, no, it was 5-minute lightning talks. It was yesterday.
Okay. Any feedback?
And we are discussing. I want to discuss with Josh Greenberg was here, and he's next week as MSD SE, and we will talk there.
Okay. All right. Good.
Next is Safia.
Yeah. So I've just been working on some PRs on the notebook and TempNB. Forgot to put it on the notes, but I've also been learning about the Jupyter messaging protocol from Kyle through a side project called Snoopy. And when I'm not doing technical stuff, I've kind of been working on organizing Jupyter Day in Chicago. We have a lot of the Python and R user groups who are really interested in collaborating on hosting it. And it's coming together with respect to space and attendees and things like that. So that's all the updates on my end.
Hey, Safia, you might want to get in touch also with the folks who organized the JuliaCon, because JuliaCon was there this summer. And so that crowd might also be interested in pitching in, and then it might make for a nice union of the three communities.
Yeah. Okay. I'll note that and get in touch with them.
But great. Do you
know any of the organizers?
I don't, but I'll make a note to put you in. I mean, I don't know who the organizer was, but I know enough people in the Julia community that I can close that loop easily for you. So I'll make a note to myself to do that, and I'll close that loop.
Yeah, perfect. So the target date for the event is the 20th of February.
Okay.
And I'm looking at either Innova, which is a local company, or DePaul University as hosts for space. But I'm meeting with both of them this week and next to figure out who's going to be the better option.
Okay, great. I have a lot of collaborators at Argonne and Argonne National Lab and the University of Chicago who I'm sure would be very interested and happy to spread the word and get involvement from the technical community in projects that are using Jupyter heavily at Argonne and the University of Chicago, and also Urbana-Champaign. So I'll be happy to spread the word and get you collaborators there if you want.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jess, are you online? Oh, no, it says going to have to miss the meeting. Never mind. Chris?
Chris is at PyData, so I'll be representing the whole Phosphor team. Dave had a veterinary emergency, so he won't be here either.
Cool.
So Chris has been putting together, along with Jason, a demo for a presentation for Jupyter, current and future, and they're giving that today. Dave and I spent some time starting last Friday working on a demo Phosphor notebook, which I don't want to steal Chris's thunder. I'll post a link to that later. But we have a pretty functional Phosphor notebook using all the REST APIs and the WebSockets of a live running notebook server. So that was a good effort in terms of helping us figure out where to go in terms of integration from here. So I've got some notes from that. Min graciously accepted the COM PR, so we have COM objects now in the Jupyter.js services. Next is contents got a bit of a rewrite, and then the config got a bit of a rewrite to make it a little cleaner. And then I have to write integration tests for the contents objects. In order to do that, there were some of the REST API verbs weren't supported. So put a PR against the the notebook repo last week to explicitly allow all of the HTTP request types for cross-origin if you're in the allowed hosts. So we can now test those using Karma in Firefox. So that opens up the whole API for Karma testing. And sorry, I lost my place. Been writing unit tests for the visual Phosphor repos. I've only got a couple more left to do there. I'm working on the doc panel now, and then the final one will be menus. And then we'll start using the lessons learned from the Phosphor notebook demo to start thinking about how to put Jupyter.js services in the current notebook repo. And that's it.
Cool. Thanks. Let's cross fingers that everything goes well at Strata. It's a pretty high profile, high stress venue to be doing a high wire act like this. So let's cross fingers for those guys. All right, Dan, Gino, and Peter.
Hey, Fernando. I think I'll report for the three of us. Primarily, the biggest thing is We pushed the first code drop for the dashboards, declarative widgets, content management, incubator projects, so they're all out there now. I think Dan put a forum post in, so folks who haven't seen it, it's out there in the forum. And we stood up a little temp MB site just with all the extensions pre-installed to save everyone the headache if they just wanted to kick the tires and try it out. So there's a link in there for that too. That's been keeping us busy. That's all we've got primarily.
No, but that's a lot. That's a lot. Great, and looking forward to playing with it, and hopefully it'll begin picking up from there.
Cool.
Great.
Yep. Thanks.
Excellent. Nick.
There we go. Hi, I've been pretty slammed recently. Work, some totally unrelated stuff at the day job. So on NB Viewer, just been triaging stuff that's coming in, more Unicode stuff, hooray. So I think I'll get a PR out for that today. I think I know how to fix it. And Matthias chimed in a little bit on there. But and then my ongoing saga of that storytelling notebook I keep trying to get out is going better. I've got a widget and metadata serialization scheme that I really like that uses JSON LD, and I think that's going to really help what I'm trying to do there and the way that I want to be able to reuse notebooks. So that could be exciting when it's done. That's it.
Okay. Cameron?
All right, so this is a better view of the office now. I guess this is the first time you can really see everything.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, very nice view. But over the last week, pretty much doing the final touches on the blog and integrating it natively into the site. So that should be being pushed to GitHub in the next day or two for approval. I'll have to go about and see how I can put it in there, but it's looking really nice, and it's still through Ghost, so you should be able to post through there still. Also, for this next upcoming week, I'm going to be making a Jupyter Day logo for Sophia and just for future events that we have for meetups regarding Jupyter. And lastly, I'm going to be finishing up some finishing touches on a banner, a stand-up banner, kind of like the one that, what is it called? NumFocus has, that is at all those conventions and stuff. So when we have a booth, we'll be able to have these marketing materials that we can bring along with us. And that's pretty much my report.
Oh, you mean a vertical standing banner for conferences and places like that?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm in the process of making it. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, we had an old horizontal one that we made a while back. I think for one of the PyCons, I think we made it here. That is, I don't know, Min, do you remember where we have that thing?
No, it was rolled up somewhere. It might be with the stuff at LBL. I don't know.
Yeah, it may be in my office at LBL. Yeah, but those vertical stand-up ones are very nice because the horizontal ones are tricky. They're tricky to mount because you need to have a big kind of tall area to mount them on, and it's not always easy to find. Whereas the little standing ones are easy. All you need is a little tripod to mount, and you can put them on the side of just about any table.
Great. That's gonna be really nice. I might ping you, Fernando, about what we might want to have on there featured on the banner, but I think it's pretty simple, kind of emulating the website with all the languages at the top and maybe some tagline there. I'll PM you, but yeah.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie White. I'm a new business intern on Jupyter, for those who haven't met me. And a little while ago, I wrote a code of conduct. That's going to be going up on GitHub soon, so that you all can,
I think, Katie, I don't know. Is everyone understanding the audio from? I think unfortunately the mic. Once you guys are far enough from in the couch, I think the audio doesn't pick up quite as well.
Let me fix that.
Let's see.
I don't know if it's possible to move the mic a little bit, or so it was already difficult to understand Cameron, and it's basically impossible to understand Katie.
Okay, we're gonna figure this out.
Katie, here, come up here and just.
Should I just come up
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Here, talk right here.
Closer to it. The issue is with the audio. We can see you folks, but it's just hard to hear the voice.
Can you hear me now that I'm closer, or?
Way better. Thank you.
Okay. Is that good?
Is that a lot better? I just switched the webcam mic stuff.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm Katie, new business intern, and I have created a code of conduct because, on the mailing list there was some interest in having one of those, even though, good community, just to cover some bases, and that's going to go up on GitHub soon, so you all can see that and look over it. And, give feedback on that. And then also I'm going to be writing a newsletter, which is going to go out soon just for contributors and users so that everybody knows what's going on with current projects and updates and upcoming events like the Jupyter Days that are going to be happening. And then I'm also helping to plan Jupyter Day in New York City. And so I'm going to do some kind of events like a pitching competition type thing. And then IBM is on board to help us sponsor some swag and things like that. So, yep.
Thank you, and welcome to the project. It's great to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Jesse from, I don't know if you remember me from last week.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. I haven't had anything on the hack guide yet. I haven't really decided what I was going to write, but I'll just go from memory here. So I've been working mostly on internal stuff here for Brian. Mostly just financial stuff for the moment, so not to bore you all the details, but like check requests and things for Brian. As you know, he's right now in New York, so I'm just kind of managing things here with Cal Poly while he's away. Other than that, I really don't have a lot to report. So, I just actually got on GitHub and Gitter. I'm not too familiar with it, but I'm going to have Cameron teach me some things. So I want to get in touch with all you guys as well. If you ever need me to contact Brian or something, I just want to consult you as well.
Excellent. Good. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. So Ryan here, and I haven't worked on all that much, partially because my computer is out of commission for an unknown amount of time. However, in the last week, I did work a little bit on tradelets and matplotlib. I believe, since I haven't looked at it in about 5 days, I believe I had the new API completely implemented in matplotlib. However, when I did that, I found a reasonably significant memory leak caused by tradelets. It's sort of a technical issue, and I had a branch that was ready for a PR, but unfortunately I never had a chance to make it before my computer went out. But yeah, that's where I stand right now. To recreate that PR before I get my computer back on some other machine. But yeah, that's where I am right now. Was that understandable?
Yes. Yeah. No. Whatever you folks did to the microphones helped. It's much better. Yeah. Thank you.
And that's us for Cal Poly here. So.
All right. Hey, Oberon, I think you're on a different channel. Go ahead.
So over the last week, I've been working on the Spark Magic with Alejandro. Remind you guys that's going and allowing you to interact with a remote Spark cluster through the notebook, and then eventually be coming back and integrating with Altair for some rich visualization that's automatically created to create like a Zeppelin-like experience type of integration with Spark. And it's still in the early phases, but that's going real well. I also started looking into the Altair repository itself and have become acquainted with that and started contributing there.
Okay. Min?
I've been trying to get 4.1 closer to done. With Matthias been helping on that. A couple of PRs. One is on the restart and run all dialog that Cameron helpfully did some user testing on, so I think that one's probably ready to go. The issue of too many outputs, being able to kill the front end has suddenly been marked as something we should do before 4.1, so I took a stab at that. That there are still questions to work out for what we should do about that in the long term, and also how much of that we should do before cutting 4.1. And then I've also spent a bit of time pulling some of the stuff that's IPython Parallel specific out of IPyKernel. That as there've been a couple of bug reports and things in IPyKernel, the bugs happen to, or on IPython Parallel, the bugs happen to be in bits on IPyKernel where the regular IPython kernel really doesn't use that bit of code. So it's been bothering me that some of the Python object serialization and stuff is kind of on the wrong side of some of the big splits. So I'm working on basically taking the apply request and data publication messages and things that are really just for IPython Parallel and taking them out of the IPython kernel and making them features of a subclass that ships with IPython Parallel.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. I've been mostly doing grant work. The original large Sloan grant is closing up, and so that's a fair amount of internal work that has to be done for that, and also ramping up the contracts for the new grant with Simula and Southampton, and also getting the job ads for our upcoming project manager and postdocs who will be hired soon. Those job ads should be up soon. So if you have people who might be interested in applying for either postdocs here at Berkeley or the project manager position, let them know that those job ads should be up probably in the next week, maybe this week, maybe next week, hopefully very soon, because I've been working with our HR folks to get that ready. And the rest of my time has been mostly on DOE matters. Damien, I think you have the last word.
Yeah.
Pretty effective today.
Yeah, no, essentially, not too much to add. Essentially, I was involved with the Boca release for Strata last week. It was a lot of time. Essentially, I reviewed some PRs in several repos, trying to put forward to the next notebook release. But that's the whole thing.
Well, congratulations on the Bokeh release.
Thanks.
All right. Does anyone have anything kind of off the agenda that they want to bring up?
Sorry, I forgot to add. I posted a link that we released a new design of the Phosphor website. It's under Chris's bullet there.
One
of the web devs at Continuum was kind enough to help us out and give us a new skin.
Nice.
And I think, Nick, did you make that icon too, right here?
I remixed that icon. I actually looked at the source, and it's still got all the IDs from the Wikipedia site in it, so I should probably raise that as a flag. But it's Creative Commons, so, you know.
Nice. And now you have. Having those examples there is very nice. And I think it now the way the site is now answers a lot of questions much better than it ever did. Yeah. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's cool. It's hard. The chat thing. Someone had the chat for Zulip. And, you know, I don't know what the state of real-time notebook is, but, I mean, we're going to hit all those problems. And I don't know if there's anybody that's been, you know, in that space and done those kinds of apps before. Maybe not germane to
XMPP sort of didn't quite live up to its promise, and I don't know what the state of that is after. I mean, a few years ago, everyone was talking that XMPP was going to deliver kind of the promise of federated decentralized chat protocols, and I don't know where that went. and we seem to be back to a few highly centralized, ultra powerful providers trying to control out the internet on that space, right? There's basically Facebook identity. I mean, AOL died, but now there's Facebook, Twitter, and Google Hangouts seem to be the three big identities trying to elbow each other out on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's our problem to solve, but we will have an opportunity to be the people that decide what chatting about compute is like. So I don't know. Nothing substantive.
Yeah, but you were right in bringing it up in that context, and that is exactly the bridge we're going to have to cross at some point. I don't have any particularly good idea. I don't know if anyone has a better one. I don't claim to have a good one at all. XMPP was the last that I had heard about this, and it seemed to have somewhat fizzled out. And then the big vendors basically decided that they were just going to try to elbow each other out for control of centralized identities. Yeah. It's a nasty, nasty problem. Anything else from anyone? All right, then we can wrap up a short meeting. I actually ended up with a conflict of meetings today, so it basically means that I can be on my other meeting a little bit earlier than I was expecting to. But okay, I'll post the video up on the YouTube channel a little bit later once the transcoding is done. I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks, everybody.